Hi guys, welcome to this video. I'm Prashant. I'm the founder of Wordpandit, and in this video I'm going to help you understand how should you prepare for IIFT 2022, the VARC section. The focus of this video is going to be very specific. I'm only going to talk about the VARC section. I'm going to put up a video for the overall exam as well, but in this video we'll just focus on the VARC portion of the exam. In this video, what do? I will pick up previous year IIFT exams, derive key learnings from the same, a quick overview of the patterns, identify the areas you need to focus on. Remember, we will do all of this based on exam patterns. So everything is going to be factual in nature, driven by facts, and then we are going to base our strategy or your preparation strategy on the basis of these facts, right? Last year there were 35 questions. If you look at the last 4 years, it's been 35 to 36 questions. Roughly you need to spend 30 to 35 minutes in the exam on the VARC section. There are two portions to it, the verbal part and the RC part. That's generally how the exam is structured. Remember, overall this exam is a mixed bag. What do I mean by a mixed bag? So if you look at CAT and VARD, those are primarily reasoning and RC focused exams. IIFT, not quite. RC obviously is an important part of the exam, but the verbal ability portion of the exam is a mixed bag. It has all kinds of topics, very different topics. That makes it in one way a little challenging. Also, the exam is 1 week after CAT. That in itself does not leave you with a lot of time, right? So it's always a challenge to prepare for IIFT. You need to get started. If you have to focus on the exam, you have to get started right away. Keep in mind these important pointers and use this time well, right? Let's get into the video and the exam pattern. So if I look at the exam pattern for the last year, 19 VA questions, 16 RC questions, a couple of very long passages, 800 words, couple of short passages, 500 words. So remember, the time limit is a problem in the exam. So you don't have a lot of time in the exam. It's a exam which is based on speed, right, more than accuracy. Why do I say so? Because the level of the questions is not that challenging. In fact, if you look at these 4 RCs, and if I give you sufficient time to solve each of these RCs, you will be comfortably able to solve all these RCs. But within the given time limit to solve these RCs, especially the 800 words ones, gets really difficult. So the challenging part in IIFT is, with respect to IIFT prep, is developing speed. Hence you need to take up a lot of time to practice. You need to solve long RCs as well. So it's not, you will not get away with solving short RCs. You need to be in the habit of solving these long RCs and being able to solve it within the given time limit. Now let's come to the hodgepodge portion of the exam, where we've got a complete mixed bag of all sorts of topics running. You've got a table of words, crossword and synonym based crosswords in the exam, couple of questions, match the synonyms, identify the synonyms based on root words, grammatically correct sentences, incorrect sentences, one word substitution, and jumbled paragraphs. So if you look at it, you've got synonym questions, you've got root words based questions, you've got crosswords. Crosswords are a particular favorite of IIFT, and you've got grammar based questions. So 5 grammar based questions, 8 vocab based questions which are related to roots and synonyms, then one word substitution and jumbled paragraphs. So that's quite a few topics, right, in a single exam. Now if I go back 1 year before this, and this is where it gets really interesting, the RC portion remains kind of fixed and similar in nature. In fact, we had in IIFT 2019, we just had 600 word RCs, right? Did not have the 800 words one, a couple of 500 words RCs, 4 questions. Again, the advice remains the same. Speed based RCs need speed more than anything else. Then you've got crosswords and synonym based, analogies, fill in the blanks, preposition based, grammatically correct sentences, match the word with its meaning, idioms, sentence completion, and parajumble. So only 1 grammar question and a wide gamut of questions which are based on vocabulary, fill in the blanks, idioms, match the words. So lots of those, and parajumbles are a constant. So we'll try to also identify the constants, right? If you go back 1 year before that, 5 RCs for a change, really long RCs as well. We've gone to the pen and paper format. So then you had, the RCs were a lot longer with IIFTs. Ever since they've shifted the mode of examination, the RCs have gotten shorter. As far as the vocabulary portion goes, you've got vocabulary again. couple of 5 questions on vocabulary, then identify the error, grammar base, analogies, synonyms, origin, source of the word. This was a very interesting question type based on word roots explicitly, sentence correction, and parajumbles. So for as far as the reasoning portion goes, parajumbles are the only constant, and you've got all sorts of vocabulary questions. One key learning is we've seen word roots make a consistent appearance. Then there are crosswords. Crosswords is not something that you can really prepare for. What you've got to prepare for is synonyms, word meanings, antonyms, word roots, one word substitution, the standard fill in the blanks, the standard question types. And if you're good with vocabulary, you'll be able to solve those crosswords, right? Again, and if you're not used to solving crosswords, you'll not get a lot of practice problems for them. It's good. Since you should not waste a lot of time, right, in the examination, you can probably skip those, right? One more thing, you should not be worried about these really long RCs, 1900 words. It's not anticipated. That's not going to happen. 800 words was also quite a shocker in the last year. So you should expect that that's the maximum limit that they're going to go to. 1 year before that, again, we've got really long RCs. We go back to 2017, pen and paper, and IIFT seems to have gone bonkers. 1500 words, 1100, 1300 words. So this was the time when we used to only do 1 or 2 RCs, probably just 1 or 2, and at times just 1 RC, and just focus on the VA portion of the test, right? You got prefix, suffix, analogies, errors in passage, punctuation, anagram, synonyms, and phrases and clauses, right, in grammar. So I'll discuss this in the next slide, phrases and clauses, the questions that they asked in 2017. So if you go through this, this is insanely crazy in the gamut of questions that they've covered in grammar and vocabulary, right? So you've got phrases and clauses, you've got punctuations, you've got grammar errors, so you've got the whole of grammar covered in the last 4 years, and there is no real consistency to the types of questions that they ask. You've got analogy questions making an appearance here. Word roots, prefix and suffix, they've been there. Mostly they've been there in every exam. Word roots have made an appearance in some form or the other. Synonyms have always been there. So these are the question types that you can expect. Now, based on this wide variety of questions, what is it that we can derive as a sum total for the exam? No critical reasoning, paragraph summary, para completion in the exam. So that's not there. Parajumbles are a constant, 2 to 3 questions in every exam. Vocabulary, different formats, synonyms, analogy, fill in the blanks, even crosswords. So you need to prepare for vocabulary in very generic terms. Your key understanding from this is not about the question type. You've got to understand. I think the only particular piece of knowledge that you've got to prepare for is word roots. But synonyms, analogy, fill in the blanks, all these question types, they depend upon your general vocabulary skills. So if your vocab skills are good, you will be able to solve these questions. So you've got to work on your vocabulary skills. Grammar questions, 1 to 2 questions. At times they've gone up to 4 questions as well, and at times they've got curveball. So in 2017 they had a very particular question type, phrases and clauses. In fact, they picked up those sentences from Wren and Martin, the lesson in Wren and Martin, the phrases and clauses lesson, and they built questions on the basis of that. And you've got punctuation at times. So you've got all kinds of odd topics making an appearance in IIFT with respect to grammar. RCs, consistent theme, 4 to 5 RCs max, 16 questions, mixed bag, long RCs, short RCs, lots and lots of specific detailed fact-based questions. Inferences are not that common. It's not that they are not asked, but not that common. So that's the general tone, tenor, theme of the exam, right? The things that you've got to keep in mind. Now, how do you prepare for such an exam? You practice parajumbles. If you're enrolled in our course, you practice from the dashboard. If you're not a course student, solve previous year questions. In fact, if you pick up a previous year questions with respect to a book, some of you would already own it, right? Or you would already have it, previous year CAT questions, right? So in fact, in that book itself, you'll have 150, 200 odd parajumbles, more than enough to solve. Grammar, cost benefit analysis. Remember, you should prepare grammar in common for all the non-CAT exams. So you need to go through all the common grammar errors, parts of speech, pronouns, subject-verb agreement, parallelism, modifiers, verb tense errors, and other miscellaneous grammar errors. You cover those, and you cover sentence correction sets, punctuation and phrases and clauses. These are peculiar topics as well that you need to cover up. We'll cover all these up in our course. The course students get that. Anyone else who's outside of the course, please go through these grammar topics once. Please do that. Practice sentence correction questions. Vocabulary, you should be prepared for 8 to 10 questions. Go through word roots you've got to solve. Go through idioms and phrases as well. Remember, these are peculiar things which are present in the exam. Idioms and phrases, word roots, one word substitutions. So these are things that you need to prepare for. Take as many vocabulary tests as possible, right? Whatever question bank that you've got, try to take as many as you can. We've got topic wise questions in the course. So course students, you should take up as many questions as you can, right? We've got the 120-day vocab builder. Use that, revise words to learn vocabulary. Those of you who are not there in the course, you should generally cover either one of 2 books. Those are the 2 books that I recommend for vocabulary building. Word Power Made Easy, I'm just writing the short form here, and 6 Weeks to Words of Power. You can pick any one of these 2 books and you can go through these and complete these particular books. In the course, we cover these 2 books as well. So that's something that we do. This is what you've got to do for your general skills with respect to these 3 areas, right? Next thing, guys, the RC portion of the exam. Wordpandit RCs level 2 and 3 are more than sufficient for IIFT. Don't need to go beyond that. If you're not a course student, please solve CAT RCs 1990 to 2000. Remember, timed practice is critical for these RCs. So whatever you do, please take up timed practice, because without timer, IIFT, the thing is, in IIFT, remember, the key skill here is it's not about the level of the questions. It's about solving those questions in a particular time limit. That's something that you've got to do. So RCs are not difficult, but time limit is the major critical thing. So make sure you focus on that. Previous year IIFT questions, solve 4 to 5 previous year IIFT papers. You should do that. For, if not anything else, it gives you a feel of the examination. The feel of the examination is very similar every year. So if you solve the last 4 to 5 papers, you'll be in a good position to handle IIFT questions. You'll be in a good mental space to solve this particular exam, you'll be ready for the challenge of the exam. So that's something that you've got to do. These are all the things that you've got to keep in mind for the IIFT exam. Hopefully the strategy, the planning is clear for you guys, and you can implement these things in practice. Remember, plans are a dime a dozen. You can create as many as you want, but it's about execution. All of the pointers that I've discussed, your strategy should revolve around these, and you should build a framework around these and base your prep around these particular things. Thank you very much for going through this video. As always, happy learning. This is Prashant signing off.